Hello guys. So I just got back from a local tournament doing Goblin Bikers, as you can see here, and I won. I've never topped locals before. I was like, no way. I didn't lose a single game, let alone like match. I was very happy. Worth noting, it was only a small tournament, only 4 matches, and I'll say up front, I did most of the time open very well. Not all the time. I did get a few brick hands, but then the opponent did as well, so it kind of evened out. I did very well today. I'm very happy with the way the deck played. It is not the way I wanted to play it today. I actually am going to be subbing out a bunch of the cards for some Fiendsmith cards at some point. Unfortunately, all of my Fiendsmith cards did not arrive in time for today's locals. That's okay. It was still worked well, as you know, as we can see. But yeah, this is the Goblin Biker deck profile. Top locals, 50 card deck. Hope you enjoy and hope you understand some of the reasoning for some of the picks I have as well. So let's start off. If the camera wobbles, I can only apologize. It will do that. I'm sorry. Let's get this started. Right. So monsters. First off, you want to run 3 Dog Charger. Dog Charger is the best Goblin Biker that you can open with. You either want to open it in hand, ideally, or you can search it with Bigger Bonga. It's very good if you can do that. Great card, goes into light plays, love it, fantastic card. Next, I run 2 Gone Wild. Some people run this at 3. I don't like it at 3. I find it very bricky at 3. I like to draw 1 sometimes. You don't need to draw 1. I was running it at 1, truthfully, for a while, but the issue with running it at 1 is that if you draw it, and then you use it with your, like, you go off in your combos, you then don't have 1 in deck for Bigger Bonga to grab and like to use it during your opponent's turn. So I run it at 2. I find it very comfortable at 2. I like it at 2. It makes sense to me. I run 2 Clattersploder. I was using one of these for quite a long time until recently. I'm actually a part of the Goblin Biker Discord where people like sort of discuss deck builds and whatnot. Someone brought up to me that if you have 2 Clattersploder, rather if you have 1, you don't have follow up on turn 3, or at least your follow up is a lot harder to get to. On turn 3, if you've gone first, if you have 2 Clattersploder, you can then just go into it on turn 3 much more easily, because it's still 1 in your deck usually. So yeah, 2 Clattersploder works exceptionally well. I run 1 Boom Mac. A lot of people don't use Boom Mac. I don't know why. This card absolutely dances around DDD Wave Hiking Caesar, because some people don't know how this works, and they will sort of cheat themselves out of how, sort of keeping it happening, So the way this card works, once per chain, important to note, not once per turn, once per chain, during the main phase, so either player's turn, you can, if it's in your hand or graveyard, you can quick effect detach an Xyz material from somewhere on the field to special summon this card. Once this effect resolves, once it's been special summoned, you cannot special summon this card until the end of the next turn, until the start of the next turn. You get like it's then and then the next turn, and then you can summon it again. I'm not sure how the wording is. I just want to read it until the end of the next turn. Yeah, there you go. The reason that dances around Wave Hiking Caesar is that you can. Their best option is to just allow it. You take a material from some Caesar or whatever you might be taking from, and their best option is to simply allow that to happen. If they try and stop you, you can do it again, because they've negated the summon. So it's not summoned, so I can just use the same effect. I can do it again. So it gets destroyed, gets sent to graveyard, cool, I can activate the same effect from graveyard. It absolutely dances around Wave Hiking Caesar. People should run. I kid you not, genuinely, I feel like once people realize how Boom Mac works, I think people might even side it. Like, there might be 3 inside decks. I don't know that for sure. That might be a dumb thing to say. But it's so good against Xyz decks. It's very, very good. Apologies. Then 1 Me Merciless, great card, summons from hand, summons itself from graveyard, great, yeah, solid card. Again, some people don't run it, I don't know why, it's wonderful, it's a fantastic card. That's it for the Goblin Bikers. I actually run kind of, comparatively quite a lot Goblin Bikers. Some people only run 1 of each, which can work, I suppose, in a sense. I like to run this amount in a 50 card deck. I have been testing this as 44 card deck, doesn't seem to work as well, but yeah, only 50 card deck, I like this amount. 3 Tour Guide, this is the second best starter in the deck. It's a great starter. Unfortunately, it does use your normal summon and does leave you in a bit of a state. If you use this and it gets negated, gets stopped, gets somehow gets ashed. Ash is the worst one, truthfully. If this gets Ash Blossom, you're not doing well. Yeah, this if this goes off without a hitch, you go into your plays, you do a fantastic job. If this gets stopped, you're not having a great day, unfortunately. 3 Terratop. This is the best starter in the deck, and then 1 Tekatomborg, obviously. Incredible. It's great. Even if it gets stopped, it's just like, okay, it was a special summon. I can still normal summon and go from there. Like, it's a great card. You run this at 3. If you don't run this at 3, you're a fool. Honestly, literally everything else in the deck I can see as being like, you know, people run it due to preference, do this, do that. No, if you don't run 3 Terratop and 1 Tekatomborg, you're just an idiot, truthfully. It's that good. It's insanely good. I then run the Psychic package, so I run 1 Yan Yan. I don't run punks. I don't like the punk package. My reasoning for that is because the punk package is, it turns the punk, like, if you run the punk package, it turns E-Tele into a 1-card starter, which is great. However, it's a 6-card package, 5 of which are bricks. You see what I mean? If you draw your punks, like if you draw your punks, they're all bricks. If you draw more than 1 E-Tele, they're bricks. It's a 6-card package, 5 of which are bricks. That's not good. I don't like that. So Nyan Nyan is a fantastic extender. I actually didn't use this once today. I didn't draw into any of my Psychic plays at all. I think I drew into the next card, which is 3 Wielder. I drew a Wielder at some point, and that was a nice extender. It's a great extender. Special summon itself from hand. It's great. That's the Psychic package, though. Nice and simple. It's those 4 cards plus 3 E-Tele. I will say the Psychic package is what I'm going to be cutting for adding in Fiendsmith. I am unsure about the next card, whether to cut it or run it, but it does seem to do well for me, and I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. And the next card is 3 Kagamucha. Now, Kagamucha is a bit of a card when you're like, what on earth is that? Level 3, Warrior, Dark, 0 attack, 0 defense. When you normal summon a level 3 monster, you can special summon this from hand. It can then not be used as synchro material. It's just an extender. It's not the best extender in the deck, but it does at least give you chain protection for Tour Guide. So, and in that sense, you can also use it to bait. So say, for example, if you want Tour Guide to go off, you will activate this after you activate Tour Guide. It gives you chain protection, at least from Ash Blossom. They can still, like Vela and Imperno, obviously, but they can't Ash Blossom Tour Guide at that point. However, you can do the opposite play, which is, if you want to bait out the Ash for whatever reason, you can use this first, then use Tour Guide. They're going to go, aha, I can Ash Blossom that Tour Guide and go from there. So you can bait out the Ash with that as well. So I like it a lot. It is, I think, the worst extender in the deck, I think, but I do also quite like it. I'm not sure whether to keep it when I put the Fiendsmith stuff in or not. I'm undecided. I'm still experimenting with the Fiendsmith Goblin Bikers, but I do like it in this deck, and it did actually help me a lot today. That's it for the sort of the monster engine, I suppose, and the extenders and whatnot. Move that over there. Whee! Hand traps, at least the monster hand traps. So 3 Ash, 3 Vela, and 3 Droll. Droll, if I'm going to cut any of these, it would be Droll. Not that Droll is bad. I actually think Droll is kind of a sleeper pick this format. But I think it is the worst of the 3. It's the one of these 3 that gets played around more so. You know what I mean? I have run this deck as a 44 card variant. That's without Kagamucha Knights and without Droll, and it still works well. It's just that you brick more often on the Goblin Bikers, because the thing about this deck is that all of the Goblin Bikers, I think I mentioned earlier, every single one of the Goblin Bikers can be a brick, which sucks. They're a fantastic engine once you get them going, but before you get them going, they can kind of suck. There needs to be some kind of Xyz card on the field for it to start working. And if it's not going to be your opponent, so you hope to play Ryziel or Sharks or something, if it won't be your opponent, you want it to be yours. So, and they can't really easily go into that themselves. They can't summon an Xyz monster that simply, unfortunately. Hence why you play all the extended and everything. I've lost my train of thought here. Anyway, Droll, there you go. I'm going on a tangent, on a ramble. That's fine. Apologies. Right, so that's it for the monsters in the main deck. Let's get these out of the way. Spells. Spells, I run 3 Grand Entrance. Fantastic card. Some people run it at 2. I will say, if I'm going second and siding some things out, I often side out 1 copy of this, because it is the one that I I like seeing it in my opening hand. If not, I can happily search it. You know, I will side out one copy of this, but also I do like seeing it in my opening hand. Great card. Search like rotate for the deck, but they can also special summon. And then once it's in the graveyard, you can detach to you can banish it, detach, and then add from graveyard to hand as well. Stuff. Add a goblin biker from graveyard to hand. So it's a great card. Run it at 2 to 3 based on preference. I like it at 3. I'll take it down to 2 in siding. 3 Grand Breakout. This is, I think, the better of the 2 spells in general. They're both great. They're both fantastic. I just think this is a bit better because it's quick play. It helps you dodge Impermanent Veiler. Fantastic card. Love it. Great. Run it at 3. Special summon from deck. The secondary effect is not as good as the secondary effect of Grand Entrance, but still very good. Because it takes people by surprise, and they can run into you and then destroy their own monsters on your cards. So it's pretty good. And then 1 Grand Bash. I know some people don't run Grand Bash. You could get by without running Grand Bash. You don't need Grand Bash. I like it. It's an extra normal summon, so it is in itself an extender. It can, I will say, even without Fiendsmith, I can go into Wave Hiking Caesar with this deck because of Grand Bash. I could go into it otherwise, but this makes it a bit easier to go into because Me Merciless and Gone Wild are both fiends, and you can make them both level 6 with this. There you go. So it's pretty good. I like it. Also, honestly, just helps you push for games sometimes. There will be times when, for example, if you get Dimension Barriered and they call Xyz and you can't summon Xyz monsters, if you have the right hand, you can still flood the board with Goblin Bikers and then use this, and you still win because they get a huge attack boost from this. They each gain a 300 attack boost for each Goblin Biker on the field. Now, if you have not been debarriered, the maximum you can get on the field is 6. That means they would each gain a 1800 attack boost, all of them. Now, obviously, that's not likely to happen, but you can very easily get 4 or 5 on the field, and that's game, very easily. So, yeah. I like it a lot, like it a 1. Great card. I love it. 3 E-Tele, it's psychic, so, you know, E-Tele, fantastic. It helps you get to Nenyan, it's amazing. 3 Thrust, this card is nuts. I think, I wasn't sold on this card until I started using it, and then I was like, oh, why have I not been using this literally forever? This card is insane. I love it so much. If this card ever gets limited, I would think that's fair, but I'd be sad at the same time, because it is, if you need to draw, you draw. If you go in second, you can take in a monster that's going to be troublesome, or if you go in first, you can say, no more hand traps for you, that's gone. It's amazing, it's so good. It helps stop Nibiru. And then this one is one that I know a lot of people will not like and agree with. They can cope, quite frankly, because this is Armored Xyz. This card is actually nuts, and I love it. And it's way better than people give it credit for. So firstly, I will show you this like coming up. I run this as well, the full Armored Xyz. It helps to prevent brick, because it is not likely at all, not impossible obviously, but not likely that you're going to draw both this and full Armored Xyz. It's also a fantastic going second card, because if you're going second and you still just have full Armored Xyz in hand, or in your deck, that's great. You might not break it, you might not draw it, you can still get it to hand. You can't really use it very easily. If you can somehow discard it and then go from there, great. You can't use it going second. It's a going first card. This is a going second card, because this helps you use your Dark Knight Lances effect to take another one of your opponent's monsters as material. So, and also the fact that you can like push for game with it, boost your monster's attack, and then you can take away the equip card to like attack again. It's genuinely great. It's really good. And I don't know why people think it's bad. It's one of those cards where it seems to me like a bit of a I don't know what the right word would be for this. It seems to me a bit of a kind of like a following the flock. Everyone says it's bad, and therefore people go, "Oh yeah, don't play that card. It's bad." I would wager that most people who say this card is bad can't tell me what it does. You know, it's really good. It's a really good card. Anyway, that's it for the spells, at least. Fantastic card. I like it. That's it for the spells. Traps, very simple. 1 full Armored Xyz and 3 Imperm. That's it. Very simple. Don't run many traps, or, any really hand trap more so, obviously. Imperm, it's, in my opinion, the best hand trap in the format, in the game. Ash is close second, but Imperm is very, very good. And Full Armored Xyz, yeah, it's great. It helps you Xyz summons during your opponent's turn, and then will help you steal one of their monsters if you have Dark Knight Lancer on the field still. Great card, love it. So that's it for the main deck, 50 cards, as I said. You probably saw this at the start. This is the extra deck. So, starting off with the fusion monsters, I'm going 1 Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. You'll see why in a moment. 1 Lebellion the Searing Drake. Then 1 Muddy Mud Dragon. So, now, again, I didn't use this at all today, and I am going to cut these from the deck when I put the Fiendsmith stuff in, because this is mainly here to, like, it helps me get around Dimensional Barrier if they're called Xyz. I can just summon, because there are 4 tuners in this deck, which is not many. So, as I say, this isn't something that I can too consistently get into. And again, I did not draw a single E-Telly today at the tournament, so I didn't go into it today at all. But you can't look me in the eye and tell me that it's not hilarious that you can summon this with Goblin Bikers, because you can, and it's great. I love it. It makes me so happy. So yeah. That is the Fusion to Synchro package. You could just run more Synchro. You could truly just run more Synchro, but I just think it's so fun that you can summon that. You know, I love it. I love it. So that's these 3 cards. Then for the mostly for the Xyz, 2 Bigger Bunga. I've tried it at 1. It's one of those things where you don't always miss the second one, but when you do, you so miss the second one. If it gets destroyed, that's not the end of the world, because you can bring it back with Clattersploder, you know? If it gets destroyed, that's fine. If it gets banished, you're not in a great spot, because then you need Nyan Nyan to get it back, and that's also a bit of a niche, like, hard to pull off interaction sometimes. So, yeah, you kind of need the second one. It is like a kind of preparing for failure situation if you do use the second one, but also, like, I'd much rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. It's a great card, love it. Still your opponent's monsters, it's wonderful, I love it. 1 Crazy Beast. I will likely be changing this for the Goblin Bikers Gone Bonkers when that comes out. Maybe not. I might use both. I don't use either of them very often, because I don't often go into rank 6, and I don't have Grand Pileup in the deck, which might be a failing. I might need to put it in the deck somewhere. Apologies. It's great though. It's wonderful. If you're playing against a back row heavy deck, or something where there's one particular back row giving you problems, that's wonderful. It does the job. It's great. DDD Wave Hiking Caesar, you can summon it. It's easier when I put the Fiendsmith stuff in when that happens, but you know, I can still summon. I did summon it today, and someone went, "What?" And I went, "Yeah, I know." The Bamboozling Gossip Shadow for the rank 3s, and Cicada King. These are both fantastic. What I tend to do, not saying this is the best thing to do, but what I tend to do, if I open both Terratop and Tour Guide in the same hand, I'll go Gossip Shadow straight away with the Terratop, and then I'll go about my play. It's Nibirian protection. It's great. I love it. It's not ideal, obviously, because you are giving your opponent a draw, but you're also getting a draw, so it kind of keeps the playing field even in that sense. But yeah, I love Gossip Shadow. It's great. Also can attach itself to Cicada King once it's spent, which is nice. Cicada King is just solid. I wish that rank 3s I wish there were better rank 3s available, but I don't think these are bad cards. These are not bad cards at all. They're both disruption. They're both like, hey, you can't do what you want to do. They're great. I love them. They're just wonderful. They work. They do the job. They work, you know. 1 Armor Torpedo, 1 Armor Fortress, 1 Dark Knight Lancer. Dark Knight Lancer is like a diet version of Big Bunga in that it can still take your opponent's cards under the right circumstances. It's great, gets into the full Armored Xyz stuff, it's wonderful, I love this package. I have tried cutting this package, it made me sad, I also lost more. So yeah, I love this package, I think it's fantastic. Obviously, if you've been drolled, these 2 just end up being dud, but I like them still, they're great cards, just try and avoid droll if you can. 1 Typhon, I'm definitely cutting Typhon. You only summon Typhon when you're losing, and it very seldom actually helps you win. I'm not saying it never works, but, you know, I don't think it's a bad card. I think it's a fantastic card. It will keep you alive for at least 1 more turn. But are you going to win with that turn? I don't think so. I am cutting this card when the Fiendsmith stuff arrives. I don't think it's amazing. I think it's fun. I think it's good. I think it's a very good card. It's not going to help you win, unfortunately. I don't think, at least. That's my opinion. I won locals. I know these. I don't know what I'm on about. You know, ask Jesse Cotton. He knows more than me. One Masquerader, one Little Knight. I am cutting Masquerader. That might sound insane. This deck can already set up a huge amount of disruption on the opponent's turn. You can steal 3 of your opponent's cards. Bigger Bunga can take one of their one of their face-up monsters. Gone Wild can take one of their cards, and then Dark Knight Lancer can take one of their monsters, face-up or not. So you can take 3 of your opponent's cards in their turn. Plus, you get 2 negates from, you can summon both the Cicada King and Gossip Shadow, plus you can get Wave Hiking Caesar. This deck can easily set up enough disruption. You do not need Masquerader. SP Little Knight, it's great. It's another card that's a little bit of a desperate situation card, but it is very good. And I have had to find space for it because it's just that good. It's too good not to have space for, you know. It is fantastic. That's it for the main and extra deck, and now for the side deck, which I actually left in the box. Silly me. What am I like? The side deck is mostly Malice hate. I won't lie to you. I did not fight a single Malice deck today. I did not see a single Malice deck. There were some there. I did not go against any. I went against Branded. I went against White Forest. I went against Ryziel, and I went against Rescue Ace Fiendsmith. And I won against them all. I don't think I lost a game today. I might have lost a game against Branded. I don't think I did. I think I won. I think I won against Branded at the start. But I definitely won the match at least, you know. Side deck. Oh, where's that gone? Wait, where's my other Lancia? Where on earth is my other Lancia? Please say it's in here. Oh my goodness me. Wait, have I lost a Lancia? No way. No, I haven't. I'm good. Me being silly. Right, so. Oh, not the camera again. Sorry. 3 Lancia. It's Malice hate. You gotta run it because Malice is just too good. I know Malice can be bricky. I know Malice can be a bit. You gotta sort of play the bluff sometimes with Malice. It's too good. It is too good of it. Like it's hand trap like immune almost. It's such a good deck. It's definitely better than Ryziel. And I know I'm running a deck that is specifically Ryziel hate. It is better than Ryziel. There's no way it's not better than. I think it's harder to run. It's definitely better. So 3 Lancia, 3 Chaos Hunter. This is if I'm going second against them. If I'm going first, I've got the Thrust and Sanctum. But if I'm going second, I don't really get use out of Thrust and Sanctum because it's you know, I want to stop them during their turn. I don't want to set up. So Chaos Hunter to help me stop them setting up. Lightning Storm, just in case I'm against like a back row heavy deck, or you know, honestly, Lightning Storm's great because it helps me to it is a, you know, obviously it's a Raigeki or a Harpy's Feather Duster. It just depends, you know, like it gives you, it's weirdly, the fact that it's 2 cards in one plus then Thrust, it does feel like you're playing like 6 cards in 3, you know what I mean? It's very good, I like it a lot. So yeah, then 2 Thrust. I want to trade this to someone for a super rare one. I like low rarity if I can find it, and I don't like the fact that they don't match. It makes me sad. 3 Droplet. I think this is the most consistent and one of the best sort of board breakers in the format. Honestly, I think that Book of Eclipse is probably better, but again, Malice hate. Book of Eclipse can't really touch Malice because they're links. So I don't run Book of Eclipse, I'd rather run Droplet, you know what I mean? Also, to be fair, on top of that, if, for example, your opponent has some very high defense monsters, I would struggle to get rid of them. I know there are some decks that can just like pop that, and that's wonderful. Goblin Biker is all about like taking for removal, and I can't often. There's only 2 different kinds of removal. I miss out on one of them for taking monsters. So if they are left with like a big beefy body on board, I kind of just have to deal with that, and I can't go through it sometimes. Not always, but sometimes that's the case. So I prefer Droplet for that. I think Droplet works better in this deck specifically, and also works better against Malice, so I prefer Droplet. And then 1 Sanctum, 1 D Barrier, 1 Mischief of the Gnomes. Simple, easy. I think they're both just. I think these are just the best side deck that for me, at least in the format. Because again, Malice mainly, but also Mischief of the Gnomes just helpful against like anything that requires level to be exact in some way. So that's how that works. So that's it for the side deck. And that's it for the deck, I suppose. I also wanted to give you guys just a little fun thing. Because I won the locals, I also got like some packs from winning the locals, so I guess I'm gonna open some packs for you guys as well. So there we go, bonus pack opening. Let's do it. I won a crossover breakers. It was like, hey, you get to pick a pack, and then also you get the OTS ones. So yeah, cool. I'll take it. I don't have high hopes for OTS. As things were getting wrapped up, I did see 2 people pull the ulti Diabell star, so I don't have high hopes for that, but oh well, that's fine. Redo a Nerd Rise your Topologic, Palm Rise your, yeah, that's fine. Oh well. And let's see what I got in the OTS packs. Let's have a look-see. Side note, actually, I bought a box of Quarter Century Bananas today, and I got 8 QCRs in there, so I was very happy with that. I was very pleased. Virus, Tower Destroyer. That's a card. That is a card. Not a bad card. It's used in Tempo, I'm pretty sure. You can summon it, you know. But that's a card. That's a card. Oh, wait, that's a little bit. Oh, they're all a little bit dog-eared. I thought that was a good sign then. Okay, I mean, that's used. Someone might want that. Neat. Last one. Am I going to get the ulti? Probably not. But we can see. Oh yeah, baby. Melodious, okay. 600 Russian. Okay, cool. I mean, again, some people use that. Right, that's it basically, guys. Thanks for watching. If you did, feel free to. I've just realised that the follower and sub thing is still on screen. Oh well, because this is my streaming setup anyway. Yeah, if you have any thoughts about the deck, let me know. If you have any questions about the deck, let me know. Just to answer a question that I'm not sure I answered while I was like filming. The reason I run a 50-card deck is because the Goblin Bikers can be very bricky. You don't necessarily want to draw many of them. You don't mind drawing 1 or 2 Goblin Bikers in your opening hand. That can be quite beneficial. If you have a hand full of Goblin Bikers, you kind of can't play. Like, you can't do much from there. You kind of a dud hand at that point, you know? So you don't want to draw many of them, and because I'm running 9, was it 9? Yeah, 9. Yeah, 9. Because I'm running 9 of them, I run a 50-card deck in the hopes that I will draw 1 or 2, you know, in a 5-card hand. That's the idea. I've tried a 40-card deck, and I found it obscenely bricky. A 44-card deck with Fiendsmith in it is not bad, but is a bit more bricky still. So I'm trying to find that nice balance, you know? So I will be taking this deck with Fiendsmith added to YCS Birmingham. I'm a Brummie native, so it's right near home for me. I'm very excited. Yeah, hopefully I'll see someone from here there. That'll be fun. All right, cool. Not the camera again. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.